Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett,
Bubba Fett, Bubba Fett, Bubba Fett.
uncensored on the internet, with episode 73 of Splinterlands 101. Joining us once again, co-hosts of the show, finest gentleman who ever lived, and Matt Clark.
Here's Matt Clark. He's one of the finest gentlemen that ever lived.
Howdy, howdy.
Geotrix of the Pouffet Poussey.
Hey,
And joining us tonight, we welcoming back to the show a gentleman we had on some time ago, back when no one knew who he was, no one knew what his product was. And now he's probably one of the most well-known people in the Splinterlands universe. Welcome back to the show, Sala.
thank you. Great introduction. Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, what a journey, huh?
Yeah, quite a journey. In like 6, 7 months, grew from a small kind of startup project to being quite well recognized.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was Geo who found you originally. And he's saying, "Oh, Bob, I've been talking with this guy. He's making a new bot. I've
it was
never
just
heard of you. So we should get him on the show." It's like, yeah, man, because
Mm.
Geo's a good. He knows talent when he sees it, and
Mm.
yeah, just watching the phenomenal takeoff of Xbot. Like, kudos, man.
Yeah, it's been great. I wish we were in a better kind of market overall, because I think kind of fighting against the tide here a little bit, where there's very little going on. I think there's hardly any new players in the game, so you're kind of infighting, and there's like people going between Archmage and Xbot over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess now that like you hear it on the town hall all the time as well. Yeah, this is a bear market, and if you can survive through the bear market, that's the true testing ground. Like anyone can turn up at the front door and be uber successful on the during the bull run, and then the bear market comes and they're gone. So to wet your feet, so to speak, in the bear market, man, you're going to be in a prime position for the next bull run.
Yeah, and that's kind of the plan. I'm in building phase. I'm trying to get out as much as possible and kind of be ready for the next bull cycle. Hopefully it happens.
One thing I've noticed is it's all well and good. Yeah, it's great. Bull runs, bear cycles, all of that. But the the bulls last for 2 months and everything goes 20x, 30x. But then there's this 2-year bear cycle. And yeah, okay, things are only losing 5% a week, but they lose 5% a week for 100 weeks straight, and it's just draining. And then you get this massive big bull out of nowhere, and it just everything rockets and moons, and everyone's losing their marbles. But again, that's only 2, maybe 3 months. And so you look back over crypto and you go, man, I've made a lot of money, but I've spent most of that time just watching my investment dwindle. So I think there's a human nature element there where I almost feel like if we had periods where we climbed gently for 2 years, but then every now and then every couple of years there's a 2-month drop where we lose half, and then we start climbing it, that would be so much more appealing to people than what we have now. But I think one thing it's given me personally is that feeling like you never know when the bear's gonna end, right? So you need to make sure you're still in, because you wake up one morning and you a 2-month bull cycle that everything goes 20, 30x. That's, you don't want to miss the first 10 hours of that because you were asleep.
Yeah, but good point. I think too, like with the growth of things, just innovation. Like a bot does battles, and there's bots on the market do that. Archmage has been around for a while. There's the Jones bot, very basic for free. And I think you first said you wanted to come in the middle there, sort of, but I think you've equaled and in many cases surpassed the Archmage bot. But the innovation you've come as well, like not just the battle helper, but like the new challenge feat, like put your account up, and because like Gio and I take huge advantage of the challenge feature.
That's
So-
all I play.
I mean, it doesn't cost energy, so it's like,
Wonderful.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like I never thought I'd want to play for free on Splinterlands, but here I am, like using that so much more than I don't even give a shit about the rewards. I just wanna try and get good versing actual bots who are good, who are optimal. So it's like, okay, I'll verse this account that has this amount of CP, which is around the same that I have, around the same league that I play in. And yeah, let's see how I go. And usually I'm losing. So I have a lot to learn.
So what made you come up with that feature? What made you think of the challenging aspects that no one else has like even thought about?
Yeah, so the practice bots, I was watching it a few days ago. I added some stats so you can see how many battles each bot is getting and in which like the win rate by the rank. So it's pretty cool. That's like, I don't know, 150, 60, 70 per account. So getting quite a bit of traffic in a few days.
And those stats
yeah.
are in the Xbot Discord?
No, they're on the same page, the practice bot page.
Yep.
Yeah, the idea is pretty simple, really. I mean, from my perspective, it's kind of reusing a lot of the things that we already do. I mean, we already fight battles, so this is just another battle format. So technically, it wasn't too crazy to implement. I think it's just a slightly novel idea of combining the challenge feature and allowing people to practice like on demand. You don't need to have someone queue up at the same time or challenge you.
Do you know,
Yeah.
I feel a lot better when I know I'm versing a bot. Like I know it's a bot, so I sort of like feel better about it. I don't know if that's with anyone else. I just feel okay with it knowing that I'm versing a bot.
Well, then you probably also enjoy ranked, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all bots.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
It is a different vibe if you've sought that out.
Yeah.
Whereas, or because no one wants to feel like a sucker. That's what it is, right? People don't
Yeah,
want to feel
yeah.
like, oh, I came in to play other people and I'm just playing their bots.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even worthy of you just put your bot up to match me instead. But yeah, if you go into that with the mindset going, hey, I'm going to deliberately go and seek out a bot in practice mode, then
It's different.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
It's different, man.
And like we said months ago on the show, because we have the challenge battles at the end. Why can't Splinterlands do it like a tournament, like a screenshot type thing? So you can send a challenge to anyone, anytime. Whereas now with the current format, the person you want to challenge needs to be there ready to accept the invite within 9 minutes. Whereas the tournament, you submit your teams and wait 24 hours if need be. Why can't they do that? And then like you come out with this feature allowing account holders to put up their cards to be played by a bot, so you can play someone at any time. So yeah, I really like it. Was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And with the I've got to ask your views and the thoughts with the new formatting. How do you see yourself getting through that?
You mean the modern anti-bot modern changes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of news about it yesterday in the town hall. It sounded to me like it's going to take quite a while for it to come live. So I'm expecting August, September time. So we've got quite a bit to go. And who knows, maybe until then things will change because it hasn't really been defined what's going to be implemented.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in a good position. Export as a service is in a good position because we've diversified away from full automation and we've got the battle helper, and we just came out with the browser extension that makes it very easy to use. So we're kind of good.
Yeah. And I know one of the streamers on Splinterlands TV was saying, I can't remember who it was, might have been Silence, but he's saying one of the team reaching out to the major bot devs when the new measures come in as a possibility of disabling the modern feature. Because when we go into bot, we can choose mild, modern, or auto. Is that something you consider, or are you going to like leave it fully operational? It's up to each user to do what they feel like doing?
I think I would leave it up to the users. Like if it's allowed, then I would pretty much keep, as a tool, keep it available.
Yeah. So it's been quite a journey, and it's been months, literally, hasn't it, since you came on?
Ages.
Yeah. So yeah, just tell us a little bit about the journey, your trials, your tribulations, because we see the success from where you started and where you are now, but no success story is a walk through the fields. There's trials, there's tribulations, stuff happens along the way. Just tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, so it hasn't been a smooth ride so far. There's been a bunch of road like blocks and stuff. I mean, when we started, there was very little attention on it. It was difficult to attract people to it because like the Splinterlands community is fairly small, and there aren't that many marketing opportunities. So that was the initial problem, really, to get people on it. But then kind of once I figured out a few things in the back end and improved the performance, it kind of just grew exponentially, and I didn't have to really contribute to it. There was a lot of drama in the beginning, if you remember, if you were around, about the pricing, because very controversial kind of one-time upfront fee compared to the subscription model from Archmage. So that was a big debate for a long time, like how is it sustainable, how are you gonna continue paying for your service, etc.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember I think it was like 4 days in when you opened the Discord server. It was fresh. It was pretty new. And you had like these bot operators already knowing about you straight away. Like they were homing in like you wouldn't believe, just trying to see like what you were about and how it's like, how can it be no fees? It's like, it's like, yeah, I think they wanted to see your progress and journey as well. I think they were as excited or as keen to know to like track down how you go.
Yeah, and I think it turned out really well. I mean, considering that, anti-bot ban and things are changing up, I think it makes a lot of sense to secure funding up front, just from a business perspective. If you're relying on whatever, $10 a month from your users, who knows if you're going to be making that $10 a month in 10 months or in 12 months. And as we can see, things are changing up.
Fair point.
I see you are releasing a new token soon, though, giving people the opportunity to pay a smaller upfront fee and then pay rewards like with the Archmage bot.
Yeah, that's right. Brand new announcement. So a new token, Export Mini. It will be airdropped to existing Export token holders. So if you have one, you're going to receive probably a fraction of one, depending on how many tokens you have. But it will be a lower, cheaper token. Same as the ones we have. It will be sold on the website, tradable on Hive Engine, and we're going to be following the Archmage model because it seems to be working, and they still have lots of users. So I think there's a bit of a market there that we should be addressing.
So from a marketing perspective, you're saying that really the bot just sold itself. Its performance is it's purely on its reputation of success. That was there was no great marketing like effort or anything that went into it. It was like it's literally sold itself. It was
Word of
pretty
mouth.
much.
It was word of mouth.
There was one person that gave it a big push. There was Bulldog at the very beginning, because he's quite big. He has a big platform, and he really endorsed the bot. So that had a big impact on people.
I think it's really ironic though the way the pricing worked out, where you're collecting the cash up front, and the customers are saying, "Hey, this is great. I just pay him once, and then I've got the use of this token." So you're thinking, hey, the tide can turn. I'll get paid now, and then
Yeah.
we'll see. And that's what actually drew people too was that they weren't going to have to face years of paying a subscription model. They're just going to buy and hold the token. It's really ironic. It's almost like you knew which way things were turning, and you were like, hey, look, yeah, you're paying me up front, but you're then assuming the risk that things get banned and the tide turns. So yeah, that's up to you. So it's good. It's funny.
It's genius.
Yeah, it's funny how it turned out. I wouldn't say I had a feeling about it, but I mean, if you're having a subscription model, you're gonna be planning for years ahead, right? You're gonna make your money over the years. And I mean, we're in the crypto field. Like, are we really going to be planning here for the next 3 years? Everything is changing every week.
Yep.
Have you been watching Splinterlands TV at all, Simon?
I do watch it, yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have learnt about XBot from that, and I've been surprised myself that some of the big players, the ones that they come up on the ranked battle and you just go skip to results, right? These guys, they're all using XBot. There's a lot of saltiness about using Battle Helper in brawls and in tournaments, and they'll say that themselves. Like, I use XBot for ranked battles. Personally, I do not use Battle Helper for brawls or tournaments, but all of my ranked battles are done with XBot. And these big players are saying this on Splinterlands TV, and I was amazed. You just look at some people, or I look at the accounts, I guess, and you just assume that, that they're playing manually. And then no, my bot does all my ranked battles for me. And when they do, they're battling because I mean, there's some really good content on Splinterlands TV. We had Tails on earlier. His show's all information. It's really good. And there's a few other people that do that as well. But most of Splinterlands TV is just people just battling over and over and over. And you see these people that beat you every time in ranked battle, but because they're playing manually on their stream, they're going to lose. It's like, wow, they're not as good as I thought they were. There's hope for me yet.
Yeah, I think we're in a
go ahead.
We're in a weird time now where the tools are kind of ahead of the strategy for whatever reason. There's just been a lot of development on the AI side and on the figuring out an algorithm to play the best hand has just kind of gone out of control, and it's just a bit unfair at the moment.
Yeah.
So, like, how often do you pull stats and analyze, or are you doing that? Are you pulling stats, analyzing, and changing the algorithm of the bot, or is the bot figuring all this out itself?
It does have 2 or 3 mechanisms internally that does improve its win rate over time, but I do make changes. So I have an experimental mode that you can toggle on and off, and I put in lots of changes every now and then and let it run in parallel. So I've got the standard mode running and the experimental, and I compare the 2 results. So you can see in real world results which one is performing better.
I leave mine on experimental always, just because I want every latest little update, whether if it's bad or good. I just want to be there. I want to be ready, waiting, gun loaded.
I think the current one is around 0.5% win rate higher than the standard, something like that.
Okay.
Gio, I want to see you push your baseball cap backwards. I want to be the very best. The Ash energy from Pokemon. I want to be the best.
Well, my whole deck needs to be used as well as it can, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just fascinating, hearing the inside word from somebody who's actually, built these bots and manages them, runs them, sells them. I think it's fascinating. Thanks heaps for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool to talk about it because I mean, not too many people are interested in this stuff. It's super geeky, but it's really cool for me.
Super awesome. And that's what I would love. I think Splinterlands, the company, can be that. It can be the front for the AI bot progression, as well as would like to see a human v human where actual raw manual skill is applicable. I'd love both of those worlds to coexist into the one game. That's what I would like.
Mm.
Do you reckon that's possible or not at all?
Depends how you define it. If you want strictly no help, meaning also no tools that might tell you what to play, I think that's very difficult to achieve besides physical, sitting in front of each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think you can be competitive even without that strict definition of it.
Okay.
As in, it might not be about, who's the best at coming up with the team lineups.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more about countering or more about figuring out kind of like, well, maybe it's just about choosing the best team to play. That might be it. It's a bit reductive, but maybe that's it.
One thing
because,
no, go on, Gia.
no, because now that you mentioned that, when I have been using the practice mode, I do win like maybe one every 3 games, depending on which bot I play. Like if they have all the Untamed, all the Rift Watchers, it's almost like 1 in every 10 games, if that. Lucky if I win one, right? Yeah. On to you, Bob.
God, what I was going to say now, so all good.
Oh, sorry, dude.
No, it was just quite often I'll just jump in with a random question just to fill the silence. So as long as someone else is talking, it's good. But I remember now, it's like a lot of the saltiness that has been coming out about bot play. Obviously, this is coming from people who are being beaten by the bots. That's gets like that's for the saltiness. No one gets salty when they're winning, right? People only get salty when they're losing.
Yeah.
And it's like you get it on Splinterlands TV, and I don't spend a lot of time in Mavs chat myself. I'm pretty over it. But I think with dealing like the two sides of the bot argument, two very distinctive demographics. So like the new people who come in and it's like, here's a card game to play. Damn, I keep getting flogged by bots. Right? Then there's like the bigger picture, long-term tokenomics side of the game where, okay, sure, there's a game to play here, but the game is just one slice of the pie. This is a long-term investment, and again, like Saltiness just come out with the whole SPS thing, the staking. Personally, I actually like it. I love it because I'm thinking ahead type thing. And we had Yavamad on the show for 2 hours talking about the tokenomics. So I'm actually quite bullish about the SPS staking. But when you look at that side of thing, it's like, okay, when you're battling, you want to maximize your rewards. And if a bot can do that better than I can do that, then it just makes sense from an investment side to be using the bot. So I think the other saltiness side of things is just coming from people like they're just playing, getting beaten by the bots. But I don't have like a fully maxed out deck because like Gio and I both run the Xbot every day for the ranked rewards.
Yep.
And Gio's into champion like 2-3 days into the season.
Not this season.
No, actually, I didn't make it into champion last season. For the first time in like 3 seasons, I finished in diamond. But like he races up there, and I go one day I go forward, the next day I go forward, so backwards and forwards. I'm thinking, this bloody bot. But then I look at Gio and see how well he's doing. Okay, wait. There's a point. It's not the bot, Like the bot can only play with the cards that you've got, you know.
It's
And I
true,
don't think a
man.
lot of people recognize that. Like,
The levels,
yeah,
the collection.
because Gio's got a
Yeah.
much better collection. We both play in modern. And I'm getting there. I've been dropping a little bit of bank here and there to get my cards up. But you know, to look at backwards and forwards and getting like one day, like I might go up a bit and then the next day I drop back massively and then forward. It's like, well, no, that's my cards. And when people are complaining, oh no, I'm fighting bots. It's like, okay, you might be fighting a bot, but that bot is limited to the cards that person's holding. And if they've invested in the game and they've got a decent deck, well, you know, deal with it. But if someone's just trying to maximize and I think they've got a crap deck and they're using the, you know, so when you're fighting all these bots, well, you're still going to be competing with a varied card deck. So
True.
have you ever had that conversation before or that point brought up, Sila?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, there's discussions about this. I mean, when it comes to modern champion, you should know a bunch of them are export users. Last time I checked, around 60% are export users. So there's a lot of infighting, and of course, the one with the better collection is going to win if they're both the same bot. So it is pay to win, basically.
Yeah.
Well, again, that comes back to the whole, you know, the investment side of things. So
It is to be expected, right? You have the better deck, you have the fuller collection. The bot is going to utilize that in a way that your deck cannot because it's just more fuller. It's got more answers to every situation or more situations.
Yeah, funnily enough, that's something I enjoy about my own collection because I got cards going back to Wild, to back to Alpha. When guys like yourself are coding bots, they're coding bots to respond to the most likely team that's going to come up. And the most likely team that's going to come up probably doesn't have alpha beta cards in it. It's going to be mostly untamed Chaos Legion, Rift Watchers. So as we progress along, the number of accounts like mine with those older cards in it get smaller. And bot operators have to not take into account the fact that they're likely to come up against somebody like me, because it's hidden now with who's what. So I'll look at it and, you know, if I get beaten by a bot and that I've got maxed out alpha, beta, everything, all of these cards, and that bot is running level 3 common untamed and that's it, well, I deserve to get, if I can get beaten by that, then I kind of deserve it because I have this wealth of cards from going right the way back to the start. And so I figure over time, even if nothing changed, even if we're all still botting, I'm going to be in a position to pull out cards that the bot's not expecting because I'm one of those niche. And I know that's not everybody's experience, but because I'm so different in that, having been around from the start, I'm not then feeling as disadvantaged against the bots because the bots can't sort of take me into account.
Yeah, that's good advice. I mean, generally, if you want to look at the card report we released recently, which shows the most used cards by the bot, just try to counter the most common cards. They're usually the newer ones, Chaos Legion and Chaos Legion reward cards. If you want to win against bots, it's not that complicated. You know, that they're really playing very often used kind of meta combinations.
when you were talking, Matt, it reminded me, have you read Isaac Asimov's Foundation series?
I have, but a long time ago as a teenager.
Yeah. So you're like Harry Seldon predicting the future with the model of mathematics. It only works with like large groups of people. And then you had that mutant that came along who broke the maths completely because he couldn't be predicted in the overall model. And so the foundation collapsed and the second foundation had to sort of, you're that guy when they come up against you. It's like the unpredictable mathematical anomaly.
Says the guy with the Shinlo, right? I mean, how many bots are taking into account the possibility that they might come up against a Shinlo Goblin Sorcerer Earth multi-magic sneak team? Like, who's guessing that, right? So
Well, no one's going to be
I
coming
can.
up against my Shinra, who's been on the market for like
It's
3 months now.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? So I love
Yeah.
the really restrictive rule sets when it's like, you can't have this, you can't use that, and you can't use that. Because I'm like, I can still do a multi-snipe team or a multi-sneak team because I've got all this wealth of cards, and it's not going to be expected by a bot. So, but yes, I look with the whole botting thing. I just I maintain an unenforceable rule is just confers a competitive advantage on the disobedient. Right? If you just get up there and say, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this," well, people who ignore you then are going to have you've then turned virtue into a handicap, right? Where people go, "Well, I'm going to do the right thing," and they then sit there and watch the people who aren't doing the right thing beat them over and over again. And I think that's an ugly situation to be in. So I think rather than having unenforceable rules, just either don't have the rules or make sure when you make a rule you can back it up. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the whole bot scenario and all of that. And I kind of feel like we're in the Archduke just got shot. Like we're in the very early days of the bot wars.
I mean, related to that, I think a bigger discussion is what Boba Fett mentioned about investors and players. Thinking about that, like who should be getting paid and who should be getting paid more, and who has the most money, I think is also interesting, because I don't think the people in Discord who are yelling all day about bots and have couple $100 worth of cards, I don't think they are the whales that we really from the growth perspective care about that much, right? We're looking for the people looking for ROI, I think, in some sense. Those are the people with the big pockets, really. Like, frankly, that's it. They have more money. So I think you don't want to disincentivize investors from coming in by giving most of the rewards to the hardcore players. It might make them happy, but at the end of the day, if you want to onboard the most wealthy users and lots of users, they are the ones who want to automate, at least for the time being, and they want to get a stable ROI that's comparable to someone who is very dedicated.
Yeah, I keep coming back to the SPS player staking. I think is going to be it walks a fine line between those two. So it's about finding up and coming players who are talented but don't have a lot of resources behind them, and then earning by staking on them. And I think that's I use the analogy of, say, I've watched too many American movies, so excuse me, but the analogy of the major league scout who goes to Cuba and he finds a 12-year-old who's got a really good arm. He's going unnoticed. And he signs him and says, I'll take 10% of your wages for the next 5 years. You come over and play in the major leagues. And they both benefit from that, right? Because the scout has the eyes, but he also has the resources. And the kid he's signing has no other options. So he's got to, give away a chunk of whatever he's going to make in the next 5 years. He's not that he cares, like he's still making mad bank. And so that's that. I kind of feel like if we can tap into that idea, that ethos, then we're looking after the investors and we're also looking after the players. And I think we just need a couple of Mighty Ducks stories, a couple of those stories of somebody being recognized and then doing well just by playing, because somebody else saw that and said, yes, I want to back this guy. And I think the human element to it is that's where the stories come from, right? So absolutely agree. People who are looking for ROI, that you don't want to feel like, oh, I'm putting in all this work only to lose my energy and not make the same return on my investment as these other guys. Totally get that. But then also, if I take somebody on, if I see a name I recognize and I come up against him in ranked, and I don't have to wait for him to submit a team because presumably perhaps there's a bot running in his account, I will very often send him a challenge immediately afterwards. Now, he might just be ignoring the challenge, but if he's got a bot playing, I'll remember that. I'll go, okay, you're just got to remember then that guy. I'll remember that, right? And so for me, it's about building up a mental map of who's botting and who's playing legit. And I'll generally just assume that most people are botting. But if I send a challenge and he goes bam and jumps on it and then replies, and then I'll go, okay, all right, you and me, buddy, we're We're actually just playing this as players, right? And so
Cool.
I can see that creeping in, that mentality of, okay, who's keeping a mental map? Because I've said from the start, I've said this for years, crypto's got deep pockets, big egos, long memories. And like I say, I'm not too concerned about the botting thing, because I think it's you know, an inevitability in a way. But I also think people care a lot about their reputation, and those who want to be seen as a figurehead in the community, they're the ones who don't want to establish a reputation for automating. It's like,
Yeah.
well, hey, here's this great player. Well, if you want to be known as a great player, you need to be actually playing.
It's like, obviously this is no Web 2, yeah. Like there has to be investors in Web 3, because the whole Web 2 idea of just players, as much as I'd like for it to cut here, it just doesn't, because that's not what people are looking after or are looking for. They want to make something, yeah.
Well, we're still
Like
in the
that's what it is.
early adopters phase, like, and early adopters, yeah, they're the people looking for opportunity, like before everyone else gets in on it, you know, because that's the real investment eyes to. And once it's on the 9 o'clock news and everyone's doing it, it's time to get out, not time to get in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
100%.
think you don't know who's watching on Web3, yeah, and who's ready to, you know, drop a bit of bank.
True.
And on that, I actually remembered, Sila, what I was going to ask you before, and I got tracked. When you're pulling stats, have you ever analyzed the time of the day? Because I've been alternating trying to get around, because like here in Australia, you know, anything from 12 to 15 hours ahead of the States, which is I would guess where most of the players are coming from. So, and sure, now the bot can be running at whatever type, but usually the cycle is going to be when someone's around. So who's on, who's not on at a particular time of the day, so that when you're actually having your run, are you up against the best of the best, or are they in bed fast asleep? And because I've found quite a bit of variability on my success rate based on the time of the day that I battle. So I was wondering, have you ever pulled any stats on that?
Yeah, I don't have that data available. I could roughly tell you when people visit the website, but not when they start their sessions.
Right, okay. Because I would just, you know, from personal experience, I reckon that would be an interesting set of stats. Because obviously it might not work everywhere, but here in Australia, 10:30 to 1:30, there's a definite window of opportunity where you have a much higher win rate success, as opposed to that same time, like 10:30, 1:30 at night. No.
Yeah, afternoon, late afternoon.
Yeah.
Everyone has titles like the Praetorian, the this, the that, yeah, you name it.
Says you, Mr. Watcher.
I just bought one just for the land. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. After you mentioned it, I did have a look, but like, yeah, I'm not going to pay $150 for just what is it, 5% or something, or
I think it's 10.
10%?
Yeah, it look, I feel cooler with it, and that's it. I don't think it's worth it, but hey, here I am. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Watcher, I guess Rock Spider wasn't available, so I just go with the Watcher.
The Watcher's a cool thing. Yeah, it's a cool title. Looks cool. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Sila, we got to ask, you've had like quite a bit of, you know, decent foresight. You know, what you talked about when you first came on and what's happened. So any predictions for the future? And how do you see, you know, the next 6 to 12 months, say?
I'm super excited. I mean, based on the roadmap, the most exciting things are coming up. For me, it's land and battles 2.0, and SBS staking probably too. from a tokenomics perspective,
Yeah.
I think that SPS requirement is going to be huge. I may be working on something related to it. So if you have staked SPS, keep an eye out for XBot Discord in the next few days.
Cannot confirm nor deny. Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, no, I'm actually really bullish about the whole SBS staking side of things. It's funny, like the figures came out like 2 or 3 days after I bought 100 Australian dollars worth, 1,000 Australian dollars worth of SBS. And my bad, like, no, every time I've bought something from the game, I've used my Crow card or my Revolut card. But because I took that 1,000 from a Mexican savings account, I did it straight from my bank account from NAB. They charged me $28 for an international transaction fee.
Ouch.
Like, banks, man. I hate banks. I absolutely hate them. So obviously, if I do that again, because it's free for me to send money from NAB to Revolut, and then Revolut, you just pay like the 1% Visa charge. But yeah, $28 international transaction fee from the NAB. Hate banks. Absolutely hate them.
This is why they need to die.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like Matt before when he's saying like, you're saying like, I can't remember the exact concept, you're not allowed to do this, like, as far as using bots go, if the smart, I'm thinking, hang on a sec, telling an anarchist you're not allowed to do this, that's going to have consequences. It's like when you go somewhere to a park or something, there's this little bit of tape and you see people, they're so programmed and conditioned, they just, like, they literally can't get past this little bit of yellow tape. They're just, like, you see all these synapses firing in their head, and it's
Human
like,
ant.
Yeah.
It's like a human ant. You draw lines with an ant and it like literally like looks at it won't go past it. But if you do it enough, they're sort of smart. Once they figure it out, they're good. They're like free from the little matrix that you've created for them.
I'll always remember, I can't remember if it's primary school or high school. On summer, you go on these summer camp type things. We used to go to Point Perrin out in WA. It's like a beachside sort of, dormitory style, like summer camp type thing. And see, we did on the beach with a stick, and we just drew a huge big spiral in the sand and dropped a bit of fish in the middle. And the seagulls, when they come, they actually walk around the spiral to get that fish, and it just blew me away. And it's stuck with me my whole life, that thing. So yeah, bizarre, huh?
Yeah.
Crime scene, do not cross. But just at the park, or the council, like, when people dump stuff on the side of the road, council rocks up and put this yellow tape under investigation, or it's like, and it just sits there for a week. It's like, just pick it up and take it away, put this tape around it, make a big scene of it.
Or like me, I got a fine today because I parked in a permit zone. I didn't even know, but like I permitted myself at least to be there, right? Like I gave myself the permit. Like damn.
Yeah, permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
And seriously, Matt, there was this whole row parking bays, and it was just one of them. One only was a permit parking in a whole row of parking bays. So someone gets their weekly KPIs just sitting there watching that spot, I'm sure.
He probably has a binocular and he has his hand in his pants or something. Yeah,
We've talked about this, Geo. It's either talking or it's drinking. You can't do both at the same time.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have just muted. My bad.
I should clarify too, Bob. As an anarchist, I'm an anarcho-capitalist, so we're not against rules. We just believe that the property owner is the best position to set the rules for their property. So in Splinterland's case, the guys who the illustrious co-founders, they're the ones who've got they're the only proper ones who have the, I guess, the right and the correct authority to actually establish rules governing their game.
Mhm.
So I'm not against rules. I'm just against dumb rules written by people who don't own anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair call.
Yeah, it's very fair.
All right. So before we go into some battling, anyone got anything they want to share? Anything that they've done recently? Any new purchases or?
I'm overusing Zariel, whether it's justified or not, simply because, hey, I bought this thing and I'm going to use it, damn it. The only time I've really found it valuable is in Super Sneak, because I'll put her second to last and then I'll put Lord Arianthus last, and he really wrecks those sneakers. He's got the nice high. You can hit him all day as long as they don't have somebody poisoning.
He's got
They
what?
can
Thorns,
hit him all
magic,
day.
reflect, return, fires. He's got it all, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a
Triage.
lot there. Well, yeah, it depends on the summoner. I've got resurrect with astral entity, or
Oh, nice.
yeah, if I can sneak some triage in there as well, then yeah, for sure. But that and he's then gets ranged from Zariel, right? So because of weapons training, so that's when I really find that she shines, is those sort of niche cases. You just got to look out for them and find those opportunities. And I've been finding them whether they're there or not, and losing with her. But I think it's about just finding those moments and inserting her into the lineup.
Yeah.
What about your Pelacor
And she's another-
Conjurer? I mean, Pelacor
She's another-
Conjurer
yeah,
rocks as it
Pelacor
is.
Conjurer.
Now give it attack.
Absolutely, yeah. And in ranged confire in first position, close target, I think it is, or close range.
Close range, yeah.
He's very handy to have him there, because then she's giving him that. He's as the front runner, and she's giving him ranged right there as well, and he's nice and quick and all of that. So yeah, it's again, it's another card that not everyone has. So if the bot's not expecting to come up against it, then you can build these plays, and you're more likely to beat the bot because it's not expecting it, because there's only 100 people who have a maxed Zariel, for example. I don't know how many there are, but yeah.
Yeah.
Has it sold out yet? I haven't checked the sales.
I haven't looked for a while. I'm sure it hasn't come close to selling out.
Yeah, probably hasn't.
No, it's. I don't even know how many were in there originally.
10,000 left. How many were minted? Does anyone know?
I think it was like 15,000. So I think we're like a third of the way through. I reckon it was 15,000.
Probably over minted a little bit, or overpriced it.
Yeah, I'd say
One
so.
of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10.5K.
I think-
Yeah.
I got a
It's
few,
not cheap.
but I wasn't going to get enough to secure a gold version.
Yeah,
It's
I was
too
the
much.
same. I bought 11, and happily one of those was gold. So then I had to go back and buy mint one more to max out my regular. Well, I couldn't max out a regular with 10 regular foil.
Yeah, he had to. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to get another regular foil, and then I got a scholar on a goldish account. He does a lot of gold foil phrase for our guild, and so he got the gold Zariel.
What moves are you making, Siler? Like in the current moment, and what are you like sort of planning for? You know.
I'm really just watching my card value decline every day. I think I'm at the lowest point now.
Yeah.
And just trying to hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed today General Sloane is 50 cents a BCX.
What? That is stupid.
Because my life summoner is a Wraith. So when I get like Little League, I don't have a life summoner. So at some point I'm gonna need to max out a General Sloane. Yeah, 50 cents a BCX. It's like,
Well, Sloane, in the cards report using Xbot, under the analysis section, is the worst under the worst card section. So
okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
I just thought I'd let you know.
But I need a level
For
because
me,
when I get Little League, I can't play life. Because Wraith is
yeah.
6 mana,
Yeah, fair.
so yeah. So there's that.
Oh, the main
Um,
thing I'm doing actually, I'm buying lots of SPS. That's been the move for me now, and probably for the near future.
yeah.
100%.
Actually, Aggie really stressed in the last town hall, because everyone's picked up their picks and they've gone mining down deep into the salt mines. But like it's still a choice. It's not if you don't have that much SPS, you cannot play at that level. You just won't be getting the rewards, the same level of rewards. And it was like stressing that point. Like a lot of people, I thought if you don't have enough SPS, you can't play. So it's like you can play, you just won't be getting the same level of rewards.
Yeah,
So,
well, it really proves that everyone's here for the rewards, right?
Yeah.
It's just for the game. Nah, mate. There would be no shitstorm happening at the moment if it was just about the cards in the game.
I can't
Please, Tyler,
remember
continue.
where what can I do? Goal 3, is it? Or
You have enough SPS for to maximize for I think goal 2.
goal 2? Yeah.
Goal 2.
So
And Tyler, I'm so sorry. Before you were about to talk, and I think I cut you off. Oh,
No
how
worries, no
rude.
worries.
yeah, I know. Very. I just want to hear what you had to say. That's all.
I think what they didn't stress enough is how prevalent SPS rentals are going to be. I think it's going to be a core part of the kind of experience where you have to manage your SPS delegations. And I know some of you have a lot of SPS, right? So you probably have a lot of spare SPS that you have no use for. It's staked and you're earning your 20% happily. So you have no downside for delegating that out. It's free money. And I think that's why it's going to be very cheap to rent out.
I hope so, because I'm gonna need the rent some.
Yeah, me
you
too.
want
Me too.
to. You don't need to, you want to.
I mean, to
Come
keep your
on.
earnings, to be fair, you
Come
kind of need
on.
to.
I'm a guy, who bought cards, tried to max them out for the league. I do need it to earn at least. Okay. So you're right. I do want it, but I'm actually just going to get enough for gold. So I'm actually not maximizing what the cards that I own, right? I'm
Yeah.
just going to go to gold and slowly work up, buy enough. One day, hopefully, I can.
Yeah. And it is a huge difference. Like Gio's over town, we're going through some stuff. And my alt account that plays on silver, I cap it in the bot at silver for the season. And then just the last day of the season, I let it go into gold. So I'm earning gold chests the following season. But I forgot to put it back to cap it at silver again. And after yesterday's run, I went into gold. And playing at silver, I get like 15 chests for my dailies. And because it went into gold, I only got 2 chests. So like there really is a huge difference between, because my cards aren't really gold level, even though I can get into gold. They're silver level cards on my alt account.
The R
Um,
shares.
Yeah.
Now think
So
about not only the card limitations that you could have with the wrong league that you're in, but the SPS requirements as well. So it really is going to make people get into the league where they have enough SPS for, right? Like, or yeah.
yeah. But as I say, tighter than the bull's ass in fly season, I'm just gonna stay in the league that my SPS is
Exactly.
benefit and work towards the goal of increasing SPS to move up.
The next one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rent like 400,000 SPS. I'll just rent enough to get into like goal 2, that area, That's it.
It is
Matt?
interesting to think about what the question. You just think about that question of what is SPS going to be worth, because it there's opportunity at the upside as well, on the upside. So from what I've read, from what I understand, if I'm competing in, say, gold 1 because I'm a human and I haven't made it back into diamond yet. It's been start of the season, but I've got 2 million SPS staked. Then I'm getting 130% of the rewards that I would get. So I think if the price is too cheap, and people are going, oh yeah, I'll rent you 100,000 delegated SPS for pennies on the dollar or whatever, really cheap, then there's always the option for me to go, well, I'm just going to leave it in my own and get the extra rewards for myself playing if the benefit's not there. So I know we've got this mentality from CP where we go, okay, do I meet the cap or not? And anything above the cap is kind of wasted potential. But I think with SPS staking, and I know there's diminishing returns to this. It can't be, I've got 10 million SPS and I've just won a match in Silver 3, and now I've earned 40 SPS for that for that win. It doesn't work like that. It does taper off, but I kind of I don't know if the market's not there to pay a decent sum on the staked SPS, then you might find people just say, all right, that's fine. It can just stay in my account and I'll just earn that extra 25, 30% reward over the top of whatever's not the requirement. I don't even know what we call it. The soft peg for the league that you're in.
Yeah.
Well, already you're exploring, there's going to be options for people. It's not this hard line, you can, you can't. It's like, if I do this, then that. Or if I do this, then that. So yeah, again, more options. Well, Sila, anything else you want to share? Or I mean, this is your episode, man. Anything you want to talk about before we get into battles?
Yeah, one thing. Have you guys checked out the analysis board on the website?
The one that shows you the cards and the common usage in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I dropped that link into the 101 Discord server as well for people to look at. Some surprising stuff in there.
Okay, wait, I got confused. Do you mean the spreadsheet or the website?
The spreadsheet is what I was talking about.
Oh, the spreadsheet. Okay, so we've got analysis board that's different to that. I'm
gonna. You want to share screen?
Yeah, sure. You good?
All right.
That's the analysis board. Have you seen it before?
This is one you can choose on the dashboard from settings and analysis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it recently though, because I normally have it on settings.
I just wanted to show it off because I think I have done a very poor job at displaying it and showing it off to people. But it's really cool. And I saw there's a new tool that came out called Splinter Coach, which is a paid service, which is pretty much the same that we've done here for free. So I thought that's pretty cool that there's a market for this. But if you haven't seen this before, this is a breakdown of your battle data. So this is my account here tracking over 1,000 battles. And it shows you top level stats with a chart here. You can see I've kind of been getting destroyed here a little bit. Lack of rentals, I think. And this is here kind of some of this data I think is unique. So you can't find this anywhere else. Your win rate by mana range. So this tells you if you have a weakness or if you have something that you're really good at. For example,
like
I can
me
probably
with
tell.
Little League. I suck at Little League. So that is interesting.
Yeah, so this shows you quite a good view that how to improve your deck. You can see if you're good at low mana battles or high mana battles, or you could find out if you're performing poorly in a specific rule set.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty bad in Silent Summoners. I think this is a bot thing where bots are not very good at this rule.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is freely available for 1 month of tracking for all users, and it's free forever for expert users.
So if you have a token, it's free forever.
Yep.
Forever in the crypto world.
That's right. Yeah.
That top one on the top, overview and rating graph, I could probably use that because I have been alternating my run times, because I'll turn the bot off for the next day, let it and go a couple of hours past its time and then turn it back on. that should give me some good data then for how I'm going with the time of day, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. Well done, mate.
You know, at first with the mana report, I was kind of, I didn't know how to read it. Like seriously, I looked because I look at charts and I'm not really a chart guy. Like I don't really understand them. Like, but
Mhm.
since you explained it and showed me that, like it makes sense now. I get it. I get it. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, for sure. A bit more documentation, probably good.
So actually, let's have a look. I'm curious because I know with our challenges, for whatever reason, I usually pull like Little League. I get that so often. It's incredible. Oh, has it been released yet for general view?
Yeah, it's on the accounts page.
Oh, it's on accounts. Sorry.
And it should be the first button on the left. Analysis under connected Splinterlands accounts.
Right. Yeah, no, I have not even looked at this.
Yeah, we've been tracking lots of your battles. There we go. Going
Yeah.
all the way back to March.
Yeah. So it's actually showing that you're better at well, the bot's better at Little League or smaller caps than it is at larger ones.
Yeah,
As
I've seen
opposed
that.
to me personally. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Lily Shield Pour on yours is the best, the favorite is quick. That's cool.
And yet she's only level 3 for me.
Yeah.
I still need imagine when I get her maxed.
Yeah. It may use that even more.
This is
Oh,
awesome, Sala. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I was really proud of this. But
Aw.
hardly any feedback from the community.
Yeah.
Aw.
Drop a screenshot or something into your Discord. Maybe no one knows about it, in general chat. Because and like you've got a lot of rooms in the server. So maybe into general chat and then just do a hashtag and the room. Yeah.
You know what? Well, I think I don't know because I'm not a creator, but I could imagine that people are often more impressed with the things that you like the least or aren't impressed with as much than the things that you really love. You're
Yeah.
right?
Like where can
Yeah.
I improve? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Like,
really
but-
impressive.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we've got the 10-minute warning just popped up. So should we get a couple of quick battles in?
Yeah. Matt Seiler, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. What's a good name to send you a challenge to, Sala?
Splinterbank.
And are you happy with the Diamond Gladiators?
No. Let's cap it at gold.
Gold?
I reckon gold level it's just a really good league. Like I know I don't play there now, but I'd be happy to drop back and play gold if need be, for the requirements. I'd be happy to.
Silver is the hardest, I think, because when I was finishing back when we dropped back a whole 3 levels, finishing the season in gold and then starting the next season in silver, because you're missing too many buffs. And you just automatically pick a card, like deep lurker, and then loads up and you go, no poison.
Yeah,
it's like
it's because you're as a user or when you play manually, you're used to the league that you're choosing cards for.
yeah, but I
And when
think
you're not used to like bronze and silver and whatever other league that you don't play in, it's hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to choose for.
but I think dropping from gold to silver is harder than dropping from diamond to gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
silver's really hard. Like
I played
for that
bronze.
reason.
I played bronze on your account today. Yeah, it was today, and I was
Yep.
like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
But at the same time, that account, that bronze account, it's the spares of the spare because they've got 4 accounts, right? It's my main account, then silver, and then the bronze account, which has just got cards that aren't high enough to level my silver account.
They
And
get
then
sent.
the fourth one is just the spares of the other bronze. So you were playing with like the shit pile of the shit pile as well. So
But but there's no excuse because there's less choices of cards, right? So
yeah.
maybe I should have. I don't know. I still won one. I won one.
But on that account though, I got 1 bronze chest for the daily, and it was a swamp spitter. So like I was stoked.
Hey, yeah, it's good to get soulbound cards for bronze level.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you can get
Yeah.
even just one BCX of all of them, yeah, I think you're
Mhm.
doing pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But like my silver account, like 3 days in a row, I never got a single card. It was just like potions and merit and stuff.
Yeah.
So to get only 1 bronze chest and have it be a card, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I've been super excited about all the rewards that I've been getting, even in
No,
champ.
I'm pretty sure it's been nerfed. Like my champ chests have been pretty sucky lately.
Yeah, I think Tails did a video on that where he spoke to someone who actually
Yeah.
disclosed to him that yes, things are percentages or something was changed for rewards. So
Yeah, because he went through all the stats of like, it's
yeah.
supposed to be like 30%, and he actually used the calculator and calculated, and he's getting like 17%, not 30%.
Yeah,
And he's posted a few
Uh,
screenshots on his Twitter as well.
This battle's ready to go. Sila, can you screen share, or do you need
I
me to
can-
drop the link in the Discord?
I can screen share, yeah.
Yep,
All
okay.
right, yeah. So it's 34 mana, silence summoners.
I don't know if I want to show this.
No, it's common and rares only, and everyone has magic reflect.
oh, come on.
I didn't
Oh, you
realize.
went with PJ, Matt. Well, he's 1 mana, isn't he?
Two mana.
2 mana.
That's wonderful. You used the web the attachment extension. That was cool.
I haven't used the browser extension yet. Joe, you
It's
have,
awesome.
haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've used it for brawls. I never thought like that helper could get any easier. And he just did it. I don't know. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, no, I don't like to use Battle Helper for brawls. Even though I'm probably getting caned by other people who are.
Well, you know, yeah. Well, I have 2 other accounts that I play
Yeah.
manual on, but for Pufe, I actually want to earn and win for everyone. So you know, you need that advantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sila?
Well, if that was
game.
a ranked battle and it came up and you saw PJ, you'd just skip to results, wouldn't you?
Bob, if
yeah.
you can send a Silo one, I'm happy to miss out. So
All right.
yeah, you send
Okay.
him one.
So Styler, can you
'Cause-
stop sharing? So otherwise I'll be able to see what you're picking.
Because I play all
Alright.
day, every day, versing, practice bots. So I'm all battled out.
All right. Okay, Splinter Bank. Gold. And Gladiators, okay, Sala?
Yeah, should be fine.
Yep, okay.
Man, these episodes go quick.
Oh, it's incredible how fast they go.
Hmm.
All right.
Crazy.
Oh, look, what did I say before? We got Little League. We got Little League. No, Little League, no melee and no healing. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, so if you didn't believe me when I said you always pull the Little League rule sets, I was not kidding.
You're just a little league magnet. And actually, that doesn't sound too good. Little league magnet. Yeah, anyway.
And no melee either, so I can't even use the monk for like this normal go-to for Little League.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Oh, this is tricky.
isn't it? And when you get Little League, you always have so much mana as well. Like it's like just to rub it in, you know.
It's like 99 mana for
Yeah, for
Little
Little
League.
League. Uh,
Max it if you can.
Jeez. All right, it's gonna go with that. Can't say that I'm super confident about it though.
1 minute 50. 49. Yeah, this is gonna have to be as soon as submitted, play it. We'll
Yeah.
yeah. We'll view it in real time. No pausing.
Okay, I think I got it.
It's like the Auto Lord playing manually.
All right. Oh, Golfwell Ajax, nice little 3 there. All right.
Oh yeah. What's going on here?
Okay, there goes the Mata.
No. Oh no. Ooh,
Oh, I think I got this.
I think you do.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, there's too much magic and stun. Man, that revealer is
Reveal
that
is awesome
revealer.
for 4 mana. Absolutely amazing card.
Him and Bonesmith and obviously, Riftwing. Just
Ah, got poison in on the Riftwing. Nice. That help.
Blaster, name it up back there.
Yeah. Alrighty. So guys, thanks for joining us on episode 73. Sila, thank you so much for coming back on the show. Absolute pleasure.
thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure too.
And we look forward to seeing you next week on episode 74.